Yeah, we on Boss Talk TV. Shout out to E. He the reason you see me.
To all my folks out there, right? I just want y'all to know that when you're a black man in America, right, sometimes you get reminders. You know what I mean? As a successful black man in America, I often get reminders. And in the Shedeur Sanders situation, this is just a reminder that you can do everything right in life. You can come from a good family. You could be a good student. You could be a God-fearing kid. You could be a hard worker. You could beat the odds. Your dad could be a Hall of Fame player and you can beat the odds because not too many Hall of Fame players have good kids. So you can beat the odds. You can beat, he ain't his daddy. You can beat all of that growing up. But you still get a reminder that you just a nigga, man. That's it. You just a nigga. We sitting here looking at a public execution going on right in front of our eyes. Where it's like, we just gotta remind you that you just a nigga. There's no other way to look at it. There's a lot of black analysts on TV, but they gotta keep it corporate. They can't say what it is. They gotta keep it corporate. I just think this is unbelievable. It's just, no, sometimes as a black man in America, you get reminded that you just a nigga. Don't matter how much work you put in, don't matter. None of that don't matter. You gotta understand. I arrived at a hotel in Boston, right? And I get to the front desk and I say, is there any way I could get a suite? And this lady looked at me and she said, I'm sorry. She didn't press one button. She says, I'm sorry, it's no suites in the building. They're all sold out. As she's saying it, a white man is walking out the back and he said, Gillie, oh man, I love you. Man, I love what you do for the community, man. You're a great guy. She handed me my room key. I get up to my floor. When the elevator opened, the white guy's on my floor. And he says, Gillie, I don't know why she told you there's no suites available. Every suite in the building is open, Gillie. Come back downstairs, man. We're going to put you in a suite. But it was just a reminder that you just a nigga. That lady looked at me and said, there's no suites. Before I make this hotel thousands of dollars, I would rather your black ass not be in a suite. So in life, you get reminded sometimes that you just a nigga. No matter how much work you put in, how much good you do, no, you're just a nigga.
Wow. Man, guys, make sure you like, subscribe to the channel. As you hear, Gillie the Kid speaks out. It's a race thing to him. He says, you still nigga, just like the song Jay-Z made. This is something that, listen, I'm telling you now, man, make sure you like, subscribe to this channel, because I'm telling you now, touchy situation, a lot of people emotionally invested. Public execution is one of the words that Gillie used. He felt like this situation shouldn't have happened the way it did. It has never happened in NFL draft history. And I'm telling you now, a lot of people looking at it like we already know if you're one of the older cats. But if you're a younger cat, or if you've been massaged into thinking that you're something else, this was just a reminder. Gillie say that you still N-I-G-G-A, never ignorant, getting goals accomplished. Let's go, OG. What's going on this morning, man?
Man, that's really tough to hear in 2025. But it's just black people in America, no matter what a white man do to you, we're still trying to get their approval. No matter what it is, they put it in our face. Like you say, you still just nobody to me, and we still offer ourselves. This Deion Sanders' son, it's so ridiculous to me. we don't understand our worth and what our worth is and what we should put into being in our worth. If I was supposed to get 100 million, I wouldn't have settled for no raggedy ass team. I would have started playing tiddlywinks or golf. It's not that he needed the money, but you want to be around white people so much that you will take this and we've been in America for 600 years proving ourselves, and they still say just what this boy Gillie said. We still just ninjas.
Wow, man, it's unfortunate. Shedeur Sanders, he cried, and he celebrated when they finally picked him at 144 just to be accepted. He was definitely, you could see he was just wanting to be a part of what he's worked so hard to be a part of. And when you see him, going through the display of happiness and hurt, and you could tell he'd been, he's celebrating a lot after he got the announcement, after waiting for 3 days to be picked in the 5th round, just to say, hey man, I made it. Because he wanted to show his dad and his mom and everybody in the family, he wanted to show them that I worked my butt off to get to be in the NFL. And I think that was ultimately the goal for him. A lot of people comparing it to Tom Brady, got picked in the 4th or 5th round, and all these other guys. But at the end of the day, Shedeur was a damn good college, a football player. And I think that's one of the main things that's really tripping people out. He deserved, in everybody's eyes, including the people, the announcers' eyes, all of these different analysts' eyes, as this public lynching is going on in modern day time when it comes to character. When you look at all of these announcers, they basically turned a blind eye to it. All of the brothers, all of the people that's in the system that's been paid off already. I think that's something that you have to look at, because there's a lot of people that they held their tongues and they didn't say nothing because they don't want to lose their position. And so
they didn't say nothing to Kaepernick when he made that stand. They cried and whined 1 day or 2 days, but Negroes Revolutions is over in 90 days, and they move right on. And they more or less blackballed Kaepernick, who was a good player, who made a stand when he almost looked white. But all the black players, they wanted to keep that check. Now, with Deion Sanders' son, he knew who he was. And his father knew he knew what pedigree was. I wouldn't have took being in the 5th round. I would have denied it. He could have played in Africa. He could have they got a football team in Canada.
Yeah, they got different leagues, but it's not the NFL. He's trying to follow his dad's footsteps, man.
I would play anywhere but the NFL.
I want to play this little segment here. Deion, watch Deion. Deion is telling you, this is before the draft, and just how he felt about different things. Here we go. Watch.
I know where I kind of want them to go, and let's not forget Shallow. Okay, but I know where I want them to go. So there's certain cities that ain't gonna happen.
Wow. So he has an idea of where he wanted them to go. And they seen him doing all of these different interviews before. Here's another one, just a little short snippet. Watch this.
Behind the curtain, teams that I won't allow him to play for. Whoa. This is my profession. I know what's behind the curtain. We ain't got to get back there for me to understand what's not prominent for my son. I'm not doing it.
And if he doesn't listen to you?
Who? You must mean owners, like not my son.
Have you told him privately who you would like for him to play for?
It's not like who I would like for him to play for. It's a couple teams that I won't allow him to play for.
Whoa. Wow. And I think they seen all this. And then he tweeted early on that I don't think he wanted him to go to the Browns. That was not a choice that he was interested in him going to.
You should stand behind your principle. If I have an idea where my son is going, that's just like you going to the Cadillac dealer to buy a Cadillac Escalade, and you got the money for the Cadillac Escalade, and you're qualify for a Cadillac Escalade, and white America tell you, well, no, we're going to give you a Ford Bronco. Would you take it?
No, you won't take it.
So if my children are worth who I said they're worth, I would rather not have them in anything at all. That's my revolution.
So you rather not play the game at all, is what you're saying. Not gonna play it.
I'm not gonna play it. Man, that's just like, man, bruh, no. There's no way in the world. Negroes, we don't want to be free. We just want white people to like us, bruh.
But when you look at, go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, it's just like, man, and we've seen that over and over and over again. And black people as a whole, we accept it. I'm not into sports at all.
No, and I'm not either. I believe I'm not definitely. I played sports, and I definitely I've watched it over the years. In my latter years, I just kind of pushed back from it because of the way that it is. Being my eyes open, I didn't know no better when I was doing it when I was young. When I seen what it really was, I understood better. So the old saying goes, if you knew better, you do better. So I decided to do better, and I just kind of detached myself from it. I didn't influence my kids to play it because I know already what it looks like and what it's built up to be. They show it as an opportunity, but it's only an opportunity so far for people that look like us. And and when you go to the very top, there is no black NFL owners.
No black.
There is.
They don't even look athletic. Pot belly, cigar smoking, clear people that got them. It's just like having a plantation here. This Negro is 6'9". He runs a 40 and 4.6. Come on, he's a good breeder. Like, man, it's modern day auction blocks, that cotton buying, all of that stuff is belittling to blacks, and we break our necks. Deion Sanders, the man that he is, when they picked him for the Cleveland Browns, he should have said no. I'd have had my son playing in China before I'd have him playing in the NFL.
Wow. Well, here's what Stephen A. had to say about it. Stephen A. Smith.
Shedeur Sanders is not blameless here. Primetime Deion Sanders is not blameless here. I'm going to say what I have to say, knowing that both of them have their hands at least a little bit dirty in all of this. But if you're the National Football League, clearly it's not about talent anymore. It's about something else. And I'm going to tell you, I spent a large amount of the last 24 hours thinking about nothing more than I was thinking about collusion. Because how in the hell does 32 teams in the National Football League pass on a quarterback that was universally recognized one of the top 3 quarterbacks in the country entering this draft, and 32 teams passed on him? Not once, not twice, not 3 times, but 4 different times they passed on him. How the hell does that happen? 4 rounds. It doesn't happen to a quarterback. We've never seen anything like this before. We've seen guys drop because of injuries. We've seen guys drop because of off-field issues, but we've never seen a quarterback projected to be a top 20 pick, universally recognized one of the top 3 quarterbacks in the draft, projected to be a first rounder, in all likelihood a safe bet of a late first rounder, and drop literally to the 5th round. We haven't seen anything like that. And when you're talking about the owners, I'm going to keep in mind, and I tweeted about this, seems very Kaepernick-like, as in Colin Kaepernick.
Wow, seems very Kaepernick-like. So Stephen A. Smith is pretty much, he's saying he never seen nothing like this. He pretty much saying the same thing. This shouldn't have happened. How does this happen in modern day times? But I got Melvin Farmer said something one time, some stuff was going on in Houston where a Crip had got beat up, and he was pretty much got kicked all in the stomach, and he was a well-known person. But I asked him about it, and the first thing Melvin said, which made so much sense to me, what you gonna do about it?
What you gonna do about
What you gonna do about it? That's what he questioned.
Yeah.
And that's the question.
Point. That's the solution. That's the solution. What are you gonna do about it? And I go back to my point. Deion Sanders being who he is, I would have never tolerated for my son would have been a brain surgeon or so cards in a store before I would allow him to play beneath himself.
Yeah, yeah. Well, I think they're looking at it as if at the end of the tunnel, he comes out a shining star because they picked him so low, is what they're looking at. They picked him low, and in history, he'll go down as being picked low. But in history, if he plays well, he could go down as being one of the greatest.
If he plays well.
Now he got to go up against the situation and the system that he's built up around.
If they get together and the Cleveland Browns down him and he gets a quarterback and some linebacker comes in and break every bone in his body, he'll be out of the NFL, period.
Wow.
If it's a target on him, he may get hurt real bad.
Wow. Wow. Man, and you're right. We just don't know what happens when you start to deal with compromising your strategy and integrity.
We know what happens when you got a system that will kill you for less than principle in the sports field. You know, it used to be back in the day that who was famous for was the Oakland Raiders. Right? And if they would break a they call them Otis Sistrom, the Big Four of the Oakland Raiders back in the 70s, right?
Right.
And they would get a bonus if they would break up the quarterback. And
when
they find out. So they was targeted. So that's when the thing, you know, roughing the quarterback started. But they used to get paid to take out the quarterback, right?
Mm-hmm.
So that system ain't stopped. I mean, if they want you, they'll get you. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, and I go ahead.
Yeah, so you got to realize, I don't care how great you are, you're not greater than the assassinators of white America.
Wow, man. I tell you, man, like I said, looking at him and looking at it for the past few days, he even got a prank call in the mix of it where they was acting as if he was going to get drafted. He actually slipped a prank call in there and called him like he was about to get drafted, and they played it, man. They made it. It was a manipulative tactic. It was a character degrading. It was a open display, a public downing of a situation where you guys are not in control of this. This is not college. This is the NFL. And what your daddy say don't matter. It don't matter what Peyton Manning and Eli Manning daddy did. That don't matter about that. And then there was one more I researched that and I can't think of his name right now, but they didn't look like Dion for sure. But at the end of the day, they was able to do things to strategize their sons to be in certain situations.
You know, what it looks like, it's a balancing act with white America because LeBron James brought his son to the Lakers.
Wow, I didn't think about that.
Yes. You know, so now LeBron James' son wasn't LeBron James. So now he's not in the Lakers. He's on the farm team. They didn't put him on the lower team, right?
Right.
But LeBron was able to get his son there, and he didn't make the grade. So now, okay, we ain't doing that, you know.
Yeah, I think it's, like I said, you sign up for these systematic ways that things happen. And once you sign up for it, then you got to abide by what you signed up for unless you want to breach your contract. But the thing I can say is it doesn't help people who's going to come behind. Let's talk about that for a second, OG. The kids who come behind Shedeur or behind Shiloh that might be the son or of a brother or sister that look like us, that's high figures in the NFL or in the NBA or WNBA, and they have to try to push their kids up. What does this say to them?
Man, as all the time as black people, we send the wrong message, sucking up to white America. With all the millionaires, with all the stuff that we have going for us, in the 20s and 30s, we had black football teams and black baseball teams. So why are you still scared to be black?
Wow.
Get your own team.
Wow. So we
White people won't come.
so guys, get in the comments. Let us know. This is a very touching situation. Do you agree with Gillie? Do you agree with what happened with Shedeur, Shiloh, the Sanders family over this NFL draft? Gillie pulled out the race card. Gillie put race into it. Do you guys feel like this is a race situation, or do you feel like this is a grace situation? What do you feel like is happening here? Boss Talk 101 reviews.
Yeah, we on Boss Talk TV. Shout out to E. He the reason you see me.